millions of children grow up dreaming about one thing: lifting this trophy. Players train for decades. Entire nations hold their breath, and legends are created around it. But almost nobody knows the incredible story behind how this trophy came to exist, who designed it, how it's actually made, and the strange secrets hidden behind football's most famous prize. By the end of this video, you will never look at the World Cup trophy the same way again. Let's start with why this piece of gold means so much to so many people. Football is the most watched sport on the planet. Billions of people across nearly every country on Earth tune in to watch the World Cup Final. When the whistle blows to start that match, streets empty out, shops close early, traffic disappears from cities that normally never stop moving. In some countries, entire economies pause for 90 minutes because nobody is working, nobody is shopping, everybody is watching one small object being chased by 22 players. They play through torn ligaments, broken bones, and crushing pressure from millions of people who have never met them but feel entitled to their success. And all of that, sometimes an entire life's work, is aimed at one single chance to hold this object above their head. This isn't just a trophy, it's a symbol of dreams, sacrifice, national pride, and something close to immortality. But the object you see lifted today isn't the original. The real story starts almost a century ago, and it involves a world war, a theft, and a dog.
Number 13 is, 16 is Garincha, number 10 is Pele. Garincha, you see he could do it too! Oh-ho!
To understand why this trophy exists at all, you have to go back to the early 20th century, to a man named Jules Rimet. Rimet was the president of FIFA, and he believed football could do something bigger than entertain people. He believed it could unite the world. At the time, the biggest international sporting stage was the Olympics, but Rimet wanted something built entirely around football, a tournament that belonged to the sport alone. In 1930, his vision became reality, and the first World Cup was held in Uruguay. To mark this new competition, FIFA needed a trophy, something physical that could represent the entire idea of global football glory. In Rimet's honor, that first trophy was named the Jules Rimet Trophy. It featured a small golden statue of Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, holding an octagonal cup above her head. It wasn't especially large, it wasn't covered in jewels, but it carried enormous symbolic weight from the very beginning. That trophy went on quite a journey. And this is where the story starts to feel less like sports history and more like an actual thriller. During World War II, with much of Europe under Nazi occupation, the trophy was in real danger. If it had been discovered by occupying forces, it likely would have been melted down and lost forever. So an Italian FIFA vice president named Ottorino Barassi took an enormous risk. He secretly removed the trophy from its display and hid it, reportedly stashing it away in a shoebox, tucked under his bed for years. Think about that for a moment. One of football's most treasured symbols, quietly sitting in a shoebox while soldiers and tanks moved through the streets outside. It survived the war not because of a vault or an army, but because one man refused to let it disappear. But the drama didn't end when the war did. In 1966, just months before England hosted the World Cup, the trophy was on public display in London when it vanished. Stolen, in broad daylight, from what was supposed to be a secure exhibition. Scotland Yard launched an urgent, high-profile search. Newspapers ran the story on their front pages. The nation was stunned that something so valuable, so symbolic, could simply disappear. Ransom notes were reportedly sent. Police chased leads across the city. And then, in one of the strangest twists in the history of sport, the trophy was found exactly 1 week later, wrapped in newspaper, sitting under a garden hedge in South London. Discovered by a dog, a small black and white mongrel named Pickles, out for an ordinary walk with his owner, sniffed at the package like it was nothing special. His owner peeled back the newspaper and found the missing World Cup trophy staring back at him. Pickles became a national hero almost overnight. He appeared in newspapers across the country. His owner received a reward. Pickles was given his own theatrical performance, appeared in a film, and even attended celebration dinners as a guest of honor. There's something almost funny about it now. a dog literally saving the World Cup. But at the time, it was a genuine national relief. England went on to host and win that tournament, lifting the very trophy that a dog had rescued from a hedge just months earlier. That trophy continued to be lifted by legends for decades after. But here's something most fans never realize. The original rules stated that any nation who won the World Cup 3 times would get to keep the trophy permanently, forever, as their own. Brazil achieved exactly that, winning in 1958, 1962, and 1970. True to the rule, the Jules Rimet trophy became Brazil's property outright. It was an incredible moment for Brazilian football, but it created an unexpected problem for the rest of the world. The tournament's original iconic symbol was gone for good, and FIFA suddenly needed something entirely new to represent the future of the competition. So FIFA opened up an international design competition. Sculptors and artists from multiple countries submitted concepts, each one trying to capture something almost impossible to capture, an object that could represent unity, triumph, and passion for billions of people across completely different cultures, languages, and histories. It wasn't a simple brief. How do you design a single physical object that means something to a farmer in Argentina, a factory worker in Germany, and a child in Nigeria, all at once? Out of every submission FIFA received, one design rose above the rest. It came from an Italian sculptor named Silvio Gazzaniga, and his vision would go on to become the single most recognized trophy in world sport. Gazzaniga's design wasn't just visually striking. It was symbolic in a way that gave the object real emotional depth. Picture 2 human figures, arms stretched upward, straining together to hold up the earth itself. The spiraling lines that wrap around the base represent swelling emotion, rising from the ground all the way up to the summit, almost like the trophy is capturing the exact feeling of victory in physical form. The human figures represent every athlete who has ever fought, trained, bled, and sacrificed for a shot at glory. And the globe resting at the very top represents the entire footballing world, unified for one single instant. In the moment, a team finally lifts it above their heads. It isn't just a sports prize sitting on a shelf. It's meant to feel like art, frozen in the exact second of triumph, forever. Gazzaniga reportedly said the design came to him almost instinctively, that once he understood the emotional core of what the trophy needed to represent, the physical shape followed naturally. FIFA agreed, his design was selected, and it has remained essentially unchanged since it was introduced in the early 1970s, first lifted after the 1974 World Cup. Now let's talk about how this trophy is actually made, because the craftsmanship behind it is almost as remarkable as the story that led to its creation. The trophy stands just under 37 centimeters tall and weighs a little over 6 kilograms. The main body is crafted from 18-karat gold, while the base is made from 2 layers of green malachite, a striking, richly colored stone that gives the trophy its distinctive contrast against the gold. Every stage of the process, from the earliest concept sketch to the final polish, is carried out with extraordinary precision, much of it still done by hand, the same way it was decades ago. It begins the way any great sculpture begins, with a concept translated into a physical model. Sculptors work from detailed drawings and measurements to shape a clay or wax version of the design first, refining every curve of the 2 human figures and the globe above them until the proportions feel exactly right. This stage alone can take significant time, because even a millimeter of difference in the angle of an arm or the curve of the globe changes the entire emotional feel of the piece. Once the model is approved, a mold is created around it, capturing every fine detail of the sculpted form, every ridge, every curve, every subtle texture. From there, molten gold is carefully poured into the mold in a process called casting. This is the moment the trophy truly begins to take physical shape, the liquid gold cooling slowly inside the mold to preserve every intricate line and curve that the sculptor originally designed. Once the piece is removed from the mold, skilled metalworkers spend hours, sometimes days, shaping and refining it further. Rough edges are smoothed, details are sharpened. The lines that give the 2 figures their sense of motion and strain are carefully carved and adjusted by hand. Then comes the engraving stage, where craftsmen work directly on the surface, adding fine texture and detail that make the piece feel alive and dynamic rather than flat and lifeless. The final stage, and arguably the most transformative, is polishing. This is where the trophy shifts from a dull, rough-cast object into the gleaming, mirror-like prize the entire world instantly recognizes. Polishing is done meticulously by hand, layer by layer, using increasingly fine materials, until the gold reflects light the way still water reflects the sky above it. Every curve, every joint between the two straining figures, every ridge on the globe is refined until nothing feels unfinished or rough. Meanwhile, the malachite base is cut and polished completely separately, shaped to fit perfectly beneath the golden figures, before the two pieces are joined to complete the trophy. What began as a rough concept sketch on paper ends as one of the most recognizable objects in the world, shaped almost entirely by human hands and eyes, not machines. Here's where things get interesting, because there are several secrets about this trophy that most fans have genuinely never heard. The first secret involves gold. Many assume the entire trophy is solid gold from top to bottom, gleaming and heavy all the way through. But the base tells a completely different story. The base isn't gold at all. It's malachite, that deep green stone providing both visual contrast and structural support beneath the golden figures above it. It's a small detail, but it changes how you see the object once you actually know it. The second secret is one that surprises almost everyone who hears it for the first time. When a nation wins the World Cup, they don't actually get to keep the real trophy. Unlike the old rule that allowed Brazil to keep the Jules Rimet trophy forever, the current trophy is designed to be returned after every single tournament. What winning nations receive instead is a gold-plated replica, a beautiful, high-quality tribute, but not the same physical object that was lifted on the pitch. The third secret is about security, and it's more intense than most people expect. The real trophy is treated with the kind of protection usually reserved for royal jewels or priceless museum artifacts. It travels the world before each tournament, under heavy guard, transported and handled by a small, tightly controlled group of people, trained specifically for this responsibility. Very few human beings in history have ever been allowed to physically hold it, and every single public appearance is carefully documented, insured, and protected by dedicated security teams. Think about what this object actually represents to the people who spend their entire lives chasing it. Players give up their childhoods for a chance to hold it. They train while other kids are playing carelessly outside. They play through torn muscles, stress fractures, and crushing pressure from entire nations watching their every move, judging every missed pass, every wide shot. Some players spend 15-20 years of their careers without ever getting close to touching it, only to retire with that one dream permanently unfulfilled, a quiet ache that never fully goes away. Others finally lift it after years, sometimes decades, of heartbreak. And the moment they do, something breaks open in them emotionally, right there on live television, in front of the entire watching world. That's why so many players cry the instant they finally touch it. It isn't about the medal resting in their hands. It's about every sacrifice, every injury, every year of doubt, all converging into a single moment that finally means something real. That's the true weight of this trophy. Not 6 kilograms of gold and stone, but decades of dreams, poured into an object small enough to hold with 2 hands, yet heavy enough in meaning to bring grown adults to tears in front of billions of witnesses. Somewhere in the world right now, a young child is kicking a ball barefoot on a dirt street, or in a cramped backyard, or in a crowded, noisy schoolyard, dreaming of one day lifting this exact trophy above their head. They don't know the history yet. They don't know about Jules Rimet, or the shoebox hidden during a war, or a small dog named Pickles sniffing it out from under a hedge. They just know they want to hold it someday. And maybe that's the true beauty of the FIFA World Cup Trophy. It isn't simply crafted from gold and stone. It's crafted from human hope, poured into metal, shaped patiently by human hands, and carried across generations by anyone who has ever believed that a dream worth chasing is a dream worth absolutely everything. Subscribe for more deep dives into football history, legendary moments, and the untold stories that shape the beautiful game.